again, if I bring up the annotation, if I wanted to put, say, my CAD dashboard application here and here and here, that would be okay. Or if maybe instead of here, I wanted to be here and here and here, and maybe here, that would be okay. So you have total flexibility to bring in different resources. And then you could have, say, your VoIP dashboard, maybe that would live here. Maybe you'd have a camera system here. Maybe you would tie into a more complex room where somebody could push information and curate information to that dispatcher in the event of an emergency or an incident. It invites a much more powerful set of capabilities. If you wanted to, for example, let me see if I can clear all drawings. I'm faster at it this time. See, I can learn. If we look back over here at my interface, close that out. I can add another resource if I wanted to. Add another window and scale it down. So maybe I don't have anything right now that looks like a that looks like your specific resources. So forgive me if I'm using birds of prey and satellite looking feeds and whatnot. But I could go ahead and maybe I delete the video wall, and instead let's assume that something like this was more typical of your workflow. I could drag that there. The operator could have access to just that one element, or you could, as the dispatch supervisor, push a specific resource to them. So it invites both push and pull and provides an integrated keyboard and mouse control capability so that you can have a number of systems that are separate. They may come from competitive providers where your application developers are competing with each other, but fundamentally, it gives you a ability to make all of these different systems, this plurality of systems, feel like one system without having to sign up for some complex software development approach. I'll grab another resource here and put it on the screen. So you could go ahead and place your resources on the screen simultaneously. You could give this capability to your dispatch supervisor. You could set up these two screens at the beginning of each shift. So maybe different users of different heights or different preferences of how they like to lay out their primary applications have the ability to change their functionality or their layout. If you lost a display, you wouldn't lose that resource because any of the resources being routed to any of the displays can be available to both. So you have backup, you have resiliency there, and then while your operator is momentarily switching between the two, you pull a display out of the closet, pull off the broken display, put on the new display, back in action. So the system is very robust and designed for improving your workflow. And that's basically what I wanted to show you. How are we doing on time, John?
A couple more minutes.
Okay. One more interesting element of this workflow is that it can support distributed workflows for remote teams. And so if you as many of us are working remotely, I see some of you are at home, some of you are at work. Thank you for doing that, for being at work. We all appreciate that. I'm going to show you briefly something about TeamShare. And TeamShare, let me turn off my annotation here. So I'm going to switch momentarily to a presentation. TeamShare, let me go full screen. Here we are. TeamShare is a system designed in the challenging world of the different control room markets that we serve, where we found that operationally, team leaders and different users really liked the ability of some of our traditional control room systems, big video wall systems, right? They liked the ability to be able to see in real time what each other was doing, and be able to take control of keyboard and mouse if needed, but really just the monitoring of it, the ability to be viewing my local personal PC resources, but then be able to see John's resource as John is working and learn from John, or John could learn from me. I can see Gary's information and see that whether at the wall or on my display. This was becoming very popular, not just on the wall, but at the desks of operators. And we took the concept and said, what if we apply this to remote workers, where everyone is pretty limited today by VTC? And you guys are using a great VTC. Zoom is a great VTC. We use Blue Jeans, which is purchased by Verizon recently. We also use Microsoft Teams, but functionally any VTC becomes very, very similar, identical even, once you do what we're doing here today, which is screen sharing. In other words, I can share to you if you were all on my team, or you can share to me, right? We can do one-to-many. It's reservation-based, meaning it happens because we scheduled it. It's not an always-on portal. It's not persistent, and it's only one at a time. With TeamShare, we've taken the capabilities of VTC and basically, or video teleconferencing or collaboration, and we have amplified them into a whole new method for supervisory and collaboration across distributed workflows. So in this kind of an environment, because I'm not reliant upon your PC as a video teleconferencing application is, I'm reliant upon my encoder and my decoder. As a result of that, I'm able to provide a different type of capability. And what I have are 3 screen types in front of you. One would be a private screen. So imagine, not much imagination these days, imagine you're working from home, but still part of an operational team. You have a private screen. Anything on this screen is not being shared to your team. Anything on your shared screen is being shared to your team, just like here's my camera tool here. So this is me sharing my camera tool. That's being shared to your team. And then I have a TeamShare. And my TeamShare it's like an always-on portal. I can see what John is choosing to share with me. I can see what Gary is choosing to share with me. I can see what Brian and Mark are choosing to share with me. And I can do so simultaneously, which allows me to understand where they are in their workflow. It allows them to see the same with me. We all have discrete control of our own workflow. So every user would be using this same interface, but now not at work, but at home, to control your own TeamShare, your own persistent, always-on portal into the workflow of your team. And that gives you this ability to recognize patterns, to supervise, to train, to see why some people are working more efficiently than others, to see what methodologies are working well, and to collaborate, because you can always share this content and notify your team, hey, now I'm gonna be working on this thing, and I think it might be relevant to some of you. If you have any comments or thoughts as I'm working on this for the next few hours, I'd certainly appreciate them. It enables a different type of collaboration. So again, you have a private area that's not shared. You have a shared area. You just drag and drop, and that shared area is available. And then you have a team screen where you have this persistent, always-on portal into the workflow of your team, whether it's a small team or a large team, right? And again, I can scale. Everyone in the team can scale each other's or size each other's windows appropriately. So if I wanted to see team 9 exclusively, I could do that. Or if I wanted to emphasize team member 9 and see her working more easily than I could see these other folks, but see them in parallel, I can do that. One, many, all simultaneously, and always on. And that is the basic construct for TeamShare. So I've shown you a variety of solutions, both for federating your workflow across a facility, across a complex room, with or without video wall or large format common operating picture. I've shown you how to take that common operating picture and distribute it beyond the room to the mobile device. beyond and share it within agencies. And I can do all of this on network and off network. So in any implementation, we're always going to look at what's the best way to do this on network or off network. And in public safety, we'll usually do both things simultaneously to give you complete flexibility. That's my basic story for you. And I really appreciate the time. Here, I'll go to this slide.